For exclusive content that Shakaama offers, join us over at Patreon as supporter of the Shakaama Live Show. That's video content you won't see on YouTube that can help you grow and maintain your wealth, financial education wrapped up in plain English, and video series of interesting and thought-provoking topics. Join us at bit.ly/patronshack. It's the first link in the information box. Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. I want to talk about vegans, vegetarians, and being a man. This conversation is not really going to apply so much to women. It should, but it's not. Every time I do research on vitamins, every time I do research on certain circumstances, like right now I'm researching bloating. I'm not going to come out. This isn't the video about bloating, but I will come out with a video about bloating. For instance, let's take bloating. It talks about fat-soluble vitamins being completely not absorbed by the body due to a lack of bile. Okay, then you say, why is bile being decreased in the body? Well, that's due to production of cortisol. I guess I am going into the bloating. Well, this is just preliminary. I'll go into more detail. Well, the bottom line is that you need to not have estrogen, number one. You need zinc, which comes from animals. I know there's going to be all sorts of vegans jumping. Oh no, you can get, no, you can't. No, you can't. And anything that says that there's some sort of like vegan, vegetarian zinc, it's all man-made. It's all Monsanto type of crap. Every time I research anything health related, and then the instance of being a man comes into the issue, it always says the bottom line is that Monsanto is the answer to being vegan, vegetarian, and being a man. Now, why is that? Because men need more protein. They need animal protein. Yes, they don't need vegetarian protein. Protein is not protein, just like fat isn't fat. The fat from a coconut is not the same fat as the vegetable fat, the corn fat, the hydrogenated fat, which again comes from who? Monsanto, these GMOs. At the end of the day, it all comes full circle back to GMOs. The only way you can be a vegan vegetarian in the United States is if you consume large amounts of GMO foods. Now there's going to be people who go, no, I have a completely heirloom, natural, homeopathic diet. Okay, that does not supply a man with the correct amounts of animal fats, animal proteins that he needs at all. And to equate that, you have to revert to GMO. You have to. Then here's another kick in the pants. Then you factor in being black, and then it just goes through the roof. You are dead well before your time. Somebody who is actually trying to consciously be healthy, if they are A, a man, B, black, they are killing themselves, even when they are trying to intentionally be healthy. Because you have to consume, to equate what you actually need in your diet, you have to consume GMO foods as a black/man. I know you see all of these people who say, look, I went from fat to skinny. No, you didn't go from fat to skinny. What you did was deprive yourself of the proper amount of calories. And then your brain took over and said, I'm not hungry. Okay, so you convinced yourself you weren't hungry, deprived yourself of calories, and the result is, voila, now you're skinny. And then as a man, because you need animal protein and you're not getting, it's just like, and I was thinking this while I was doing my research, it's just like marrying a fat woman. And I'm not trying to shame fat women, but it's just a reality. What do I mean by this? She is a woman. She has all the working parts of a woman, but she's fat. She's unattractive to you. And now that might work out for a while for you, but sooner or later, you're going to come to the realization that you're not happy in the situation. Now, I know there's some men out there on the fringe who goes, "Oh, I'm a chubby chaser. What are you talking about? I love the bigger the better." Okay, you're not normal. Don't pretend you're normal. I said in my other video, right? What is normal? 50%. So we're talking about the normal man. If he marries a fat chick, sooner or later, he's going to become dissatisfied with his love life. And he's going to do what? Cheat, divorce her, whatever, right? This is the same thing that's happening in your body when you're trying to supplement animal fat, animal protein with vegetarian fat, vegetarian protein. Your body is marrying the fat chick and going, I wanted a chick, but you gave me a fat chick. Okay. But after a while, it's not going to do. It's just not going to do. And you're going to develop muscle atrophy. And once you develop that, you will die. Now, the vegetarians and vegans can argue that point all they want to, but that's a fact. I was listening to a talk show with a doctor, and the caller came in and said that his mother developed muscle atrophy, and the doctor literally said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. She's not that long for this world, and there is no reversal of it. She can't go out and consume a whole bunch of animal protein and animal fat to reverse it. Once it sets in, it is incurable. There is no reversing it." And the vegetarian and vegan people have said that 99% of the people who call themselves vegans and vegetarians cheat. So all of these people cheering and yelling about being vegan and vegetarian aren't actually being vegan and vegetarian. So when they say, "I did all of this and I'm still alive and I'm super healthy and look, I got muscles," cheat. Because if they were strict vegans and vegetarians, they would be developing all of these diseases. As a person who cares about people, I care about the truth. And this is the truth of the matter. Now, for women, this may not apply. Women do not require the nutrition of men at all. This whole, we're all going to eat the same. No. Men require animal proteins and require it. Because there are animal proteins, minerals, vitamins that you can only get from animals. You cannot get them from vegetables. Those are requirements to be a male human. So then you go back through my videos talking about vitamin D and being black, being a dark-skinned African descendant, and the issue is just compounded. I mean, there seems to be absolutely no good reason to stay in the United States as a black man. None. So all those guys moving to Brazil or moving to West Africa, they're doing the right thing. There is so much against you. Forget about, I'm not talking about white racism. I'm not talking about white supremacy. Just being in the Northern Hemisphere as a dark-skinned black man, you are literally killing yourself. You are shortening your life by a decade. Shortening your life by a decade. And then if you go this whole vegan vegetarian thing, oh my God, just put a gun to your head. It is horrible. It is. Now this is after spending all day researching just bloating. You know, nutrition and health and vitamins. When you get to vitamins, you know, you start hearing that song, the neck bone connected to the collarbone connected to the rib bone. You know, everything builds on each other. You know, I don't know why she swallowed a fly. I guess she'll die. She swallowed the fly to catch the, you know, everything is connected. And it's a big, giant circle. This helps this. This helps this. You need this to assist this. You need this to assist this. And if you don't have the production of bile, you cannot absorb vitamin A, B, F, K, and D. You cannot absorb that. Is that crazy? So if you can't absorb that, you are literally living on the edge of death. But your body is so resilient that it keeps going on. And because of all of this, you get fat. It's crazy. And you produce cortisol, which then makes you fat. And all of those vitamins that you can't absorb reduces fat and helps you digest fat. But you can't because you're not able to absorb the vitamins. I mean, it's just a giant whirlpool down into death. It is horrible. I walk around bloated all day long, just all day. And then, of course, then I get on top of my game and I take this and that and that and that and poof, I got a nice flat stomach. But then I get so involved in my daily chores and my businesses, and there I am 2 weeks later bloated. And then I forget what I did to get my flat stomach. And you literally might just be bloated, and you're not fat, you're bloated. That goes for women too, by the way. You might simply be bloated. If you can't take a breath without feeling like you've done some sort of chore, if you try to take a deep breath, go ahead and try it. Try and take a deep breath and see, do you feel like your breath is being stopped? That means you're bloated. That doesn't mean you're fat. When you're fat, it's a part of your body. When you're bloated, it's not a part of your body. All right, I just wanted to, every time I research anything health-wise, it always comes to men should not be vegans or vegetarians. Every time. And even the doctors aren't even intentionally saying you shouldn't be vegan or vegetarian, but they're coming out and saying this is what men need. And men do not need the same thing as women. And the people who have done the research, who find that the vegan vegetarians actually develop cancer faster than those who do not, a lot of those people are try to be run out by the government because the government wants you to die too, right? Everything is connected to everything. But if you're a man and you're trying to be vegetarian and vegan, please do more research. Protein is not protein. Fat is not fat. We already know every fat is not the same. And if you are taking some sort of GMO or Monsanto, stop it. And so what is your alternative? You have to go with a meat product. And all of these people saying, meat is terrible, meat is bad, and you can't digest meat. They are lying out of their butthole. I mean, simply lying. There was a study. No, there wasn't a study. You know why there wasn't a study? Because they did not study grass-fed, clover-fed beef. They did not study free-range cattle. They did not study free-range chickens. And the real definition of free range. I'm not talking about these big pharma chicken coops that say we have a door that the chicken can see out of. Can you believe this? So they have a giant chicken coop where the chickens cannot move, and they define free range simply by placing a door that the chickens can't even go out of, mind you. But they define that as free range. They have quote unquote access to the range. They cannot help it if the chickens don't go out of the door. Well, the chickens can't go out of the door. This is the stuff that's all intended to, first of all, fool you. They know you want something. They know you want real free range chickens. They're going to go, oh, okay. Just like the Bill Cosby stuff. What is rape? Oh, rape simply now means if you're intoxicated. When the women started admitting that they asked for the Quaaludes, they asked for the drinks, they asked for the pills, that the women intentionally admitted that they asked for the Quaaludes. By today's definition of rape, they're saying that this was rape. That wasn't the definition of rape. In any sound person's thinking, that's not rape. They're literally saying that a woman cannot consent to sex if she's on drugs. What if the woman asked for the drugs, asked for the intoxicants, because that's what she's into? Okay, now you have a new definition of rape. Now you have a new definition of free range. Now you have a new definition of cage-free. Now you have a new definition of grass-fed. Now you have a new definition of hormone-free. Oh, we didn't give the hormone injections for a whole month before they went to market. Ergo, vis-a-vis, that's hormone free. That's not hormone free. Hormone free is when you don't inject the thing with hormones. It's not vaccine free. All of these things. And when they do these studies, they don't take actual heirloom vegetables. They don't take actual free range. They don't actually take actual grass-fed, actual clover-fed, because they know that all of those meats are going to have an extended vitamin chain, an extended mineral chain, an extended trace mineral chain, and trace nutrients that is going to make you healthy. So what instead do? They do hydrogenated fats. The whole fat is bad, that whole propaganda, that's from hydrogenated fats. They didn't take animal fat. They didn't take actual lard. They didn't take actual chicken grease. They took hydrogenated fat. And then when people started like dying and developing cancer, they said, oh, fat is bad. No, fat isn't bad. Hydrogenated fat is bad. You're lying through your teeth and then saying that, oh, the stuff that we produce and we paid for the study ourselves is bad, but now we're going to claim that everything is bad. This is more of the dumbing down of Americans. We're going to lie to you, give you name stuff that we know that you want. Finally, it takes the doctor, the medical community to say fat-free is killing Americans. It has to be the worst thing possible. Now you have to build up and do propaganda for avocado fats, coconut fats, beef fat. Now you have to go out of your way to promote this stuff that mom and dad, grandpa and grandma already knew. I harken back to the Good Morning America with the black weatherman, and he'd always get on the 80-year-old people or say hello to the 100-year-old people, and they had the guy and they said, so what do you have for breakfast to live to 102? Bacon, eggs, and I smoked a cigar every day, every single morning. And they cut to the next segment. All right, but thank you. Bye. Anyway, bye. Why? Because they don't want that. Bacon, eggs, butter. Oh, you should have died a long time ago. Those are fats. Those are good fats. Glass of orange juice, freshly squeezed. They don't want to hear that. Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show. If you are a man, I'm not a doctor. If you are a man, you better check and double check and triple check and quadruple check and quintuple check to see that A, you're not taking something GMO, B, that your doctor actually agrees with you being a vegan, C, are you really being a vegan vegetarian, or are you cheating and just calling yourself a vegan vegetarian? Now that's some honesty that you need to have with yourself. They literally said 99% of the people who call themselves vegan or vegetarian cheat, and they cheat all the time. And the people who actually, here on YouTube, who've gonna say, okay, I'm now gonna switch to vegetarian, and they went strictly vegetarian or strictly vegan, said was horrible within the first week, first month. 2 months later, they're off of that. They said, no, that's not possible. It is not possible, and I'm not even a fat person that needs to eat 20 times a day. You need to be honest with yourself. And it's a cult sort of mentality. Oh, you have to be vegan. You have to be vegetarian. Nobody, except for a stupid commercial, nobody said, you need to be a meat lover. You need to be a hamburger lover. Because you don't have to sell that stuff. You don't have to sell the idea, especially to a man. My roommate eats the hot dog out of the bun. I'm all like, so what's the purpose of getting the damn bun? I mean, I load, if I'm going to have a hot dog, I'm going to load it up and have all sorts of, it's going to be almost like a meal. Anyway, thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show. This is for entertainment purposes only.